Oh, I forgot something.
You brought the applause.
I know. I was like, wait, hold on. How? And I usually look down behind the scenes to see, like, okay, let me see, what am I gonna get? I like completely spaced. Here you go. Good. I got highlighter. Man, and I just realized someone moved my camera too. What's going on here, man? It's like I need to
Martin.
I need somebody to come over here.
It's
Man,
not.
It's not. I look like I'm like my head finally got too big and it just started leaning one way. Welcome everybody to another edition of Zia Comic Weekly, where we get ready to nerd out for the next half hour. With you is the nerds of the rain, Troy and myself. What's up, Troy? How's it going?
Of the rain is right, man. 2 straight days. This is the desert.
Man, I tell you, with it raining and it's just the way it's been, I'm like, I have to get up and go to work. Like, do I have to get up? Can I just stay and watch TV all day?
Yeah, and I had some stuff to do out in the yard, and well, it didn't get done because it was raining.
So, well, guess what? We'll be waiting for you this weekend. That's what my wife said.
Yep, it'll be there still.
It'll be sunny on Saturday, and you have the day off, so you can take care of it there. I'm like, not exactly how I was planning to spend my Saturday, but
I think I have an on location I have to go to.
Yeah, I just I gotta go by. I'll see you later.
Bye.
What's going on with you, Troy? How have things been going?
Not bad. Just busy as always. You know, getting people signed for El Paso Comic-Con, getting ready for the in-store signing here in Cruces. Just a couple other little things I can't really talk about yet, but they're in the works.
Yes, and Comic-Con. I mean, before you know it, El Paso Comic-Con will be here, and yeah, it's crazy that we're going through another cycle. Get ready for another season of Comic-Cons.
Yep. Kicked off in January up in Albuquerque, and Albuquerque Comic-Con was slammed. They had so many. They hit capacity on Saturday at the venue.
Man,
crazy.
I saw some photos from Albuquerque Comic-Con. Thoughts about it? What were your thoughts as far as the first one of 2024?
It did. It was good. Ton of guests. I mean, he had to have close to 100 celebrities in there. They took up all the normal third floor, plus he had to spread them out down on the second floor as well. So yeah. It was just there should have been somebody for every genre you could think of in that building.
Yeah. So I saw some of the pictures, saw some friends that actually went out that way, and saw that they had some wrestlers out there too. So it was like, okay, so
I think he had 5 or 6 more the more recent ones even. I know Ruben Soho and Eric Redbeard and a couple others.
Yeah, I saw. I think Booker T was also out there too.
Booker T, yeah.
Which, man, that guy does not age. He still looks the same as he does in the 90s. I mean, yes, the hair may be gray, but it still looks the same in the face.
Yeah, you don't want to. A lot of those guys stayed in shape, and you don't want to. You don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, you know. And here's the thing, guys. I know we joke about, oh, it's fake. Those guys know how to throw real punches. So
I wouldn't say fake. I would say more choreographed. Because they are, like you said, actually coming off that top rope. They're throwing each other around, and they actually get hurt. I mean, go watch that new movie. Was it Iron Claw with the Von Erichs?
Yeah,
people get hurt. People die. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's been, cases even in the 90s and even the 2000s of situations happening, unfortunate situations in the ring, and it's just crazy. Did you get a chance to see Iron Claw? I've heard nothing but amazing things about that movie, and even Zac Efron's performance.
I haven't, because I try to avoid the theaters, but I'm waiting for the streaming. But I've seen clips of here and there, and I know the basic story of the Von Erichs, and from what I understand, like you said, Zac Efron supposedly killed it. The dude from Shameless and Bear, he killed it. Yeah, I just caught that. That was bad.
I didn't want to say it. That's how I was all.
Yeah, I didn't realize I said it. That was bad. Yeah. But the dude from Shameless that played Lip, supposedly he put on a freaking showcase of acting.
Yeah. So. And one of the things, just seeing like even the the wrestlers that were involved in this, which was kind of surprising to me to find out where some of the wrestlers that we hear about from the 90s and what are they doing now? And oh, they're probably, some bums and doing whatever. But no, they brought in professionals to choreograph it. I mean, and they apparently now have a life of doing a lot of stunts and behind the scenes when it comes to things like this. One of the wrestlers that a lot of people may be familiar is Chavo Guerrero Jr. He was a choreographer in this. And he said that when you look at, these characters that were playing the brothers, they said, we want to feel the pain that the wrestlers do. And they said they committed, man. And I mean, when you're taking a chop to the chest from a professional wrestler, that ain't no joke, man. That's like you telling a professional boxer to punch you in the face. You might not recover.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting hit, but you're still getting hit, whether you know it's coming or not.
Yeah. So
and it's funny you should mention Chavo Guerrero because I just got word that he will be at El Paso Comic-Con.
Serious?
He's going to be in the Superheroes in Training booth. Yep.
Yeah. So
and the Mouth of the South will be there too.
Really?
Yep.
So okay, all right. So we're cooking with gas for 2024.
Yeah. And I don't know how deep you go, but I signed Tatanka as well.
Tatanka, that's another big one. Tatanka,
so especially in this area, we got some indigenous peoples.
Yeah, no, I mean you got definitely a nice little round of characters, and especially from that 80s and 90s era, 70s even 70s, 80s, 90s era.
Yeah, that nostalgia.
Yeah, man, it's always the greatest. But yeah, man, I mean, a lot of work goes behind these movies, and yeah, that's just one example. But just the time and efforts that go in, especially for these stunt coordinators, man. I mean, that is no joke right there. Is when they're putting these things together and making it look as realistic as they can when we see it in the movie. But I'm excited to see that movie. But I'm like you, I'm waiting for streaming.
Yeah, I don't like to go to the theater. I'm just trying to because I know on these movies. The one movie that I was an extra on, we had 14 hours of filming the same scene over and over and over. If you're doing that with this wrestling, that choreograph, that means that guy didn't get hit once. He got hit, and then he got hit from this angle, and then from over at this angle, and then over here. And then, oh, wait a minute, we need the boom mic over to get a better. Yeah, so he probably had several hours of just getting pummeled.
And then you think they're like, okay, they left a red mark right here. So now they got to get him in makeup to cover it up. So does it look like he has the red mark? All that for them to hit him again. Oh, look, I just hit myself.
There you go.
See, just like that. See, and I am a stunt coordinator. But it's crazy though, because it's just, oh man, I don't know. It's really intriguing to see some of these stories and some of these movies. And I don't know, man, if it's well put together, and like even Zac Efron, I know he's Mr. High School Musical, but I don't know, man. That's a good role for him.
He was also in that movie with Will Ferrell. What was it, Neighbors?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's not forget the beach one,
Baywatch. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. Okay, I enjoyed that movie.
It was actually funny.
I liked that movie. I will actually, anytime it's on TV, we'll watch that movie. I know recently, even The Rock said, I did not care for that movie. He says nobody saw that movie. Yes, people did. It was me. I was the one that kept it going.
I thought it was pretty good. It showed Zac Efron's comedy. So
I was hoping for a sequel. I really was.
I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you got another one. The ship is sailed. Man, you're on one.
Those are all unintentional.
Hey, you know what it is? You just had some good coffee today. That's what that
means.
Oh man, well, let's go ahead and nerd out because I tell you some of the news that's been hitting, especially the last 48 hours. We got to talk about everybody's favorite streaming service, Netflix. They're gonna hit you with another price increase, and a lot of this may be because of those wrestling fans out there. It was announced that WWE will now start streaming a Monday Night Raw beginning next year, and the deal calls for 10 years for $5 billion.
With a B.
With a B, as in, boy, that's a lot of money.
That's $1 billion a year, because you said 5 years. Wow.
Yeah, 10 years. The deal will be for 10 years. Yeah.
That's still hefty. But how many people are going to pick up Netflix so they can watch Raw?
Exactly. And that's it. That's just for that streaming service, which led to a lot of people saying Netflix has already increased their price. I believe they did 2 price increases in 2023 and now doing another price increase in 2024. And for those non-wrestling fans, are saying, why do I got to pay for it if I don't watch wrestling?
Maybe they should have a second option, a WWE only subscription.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, right? But I don't think it just stops at WWE, because I think this is going to be opening the floodgates for more live entertainment. I mean, they have obviously a lot of series and stuff. You could get some of these reality shows that they had on the service. You could get the live version of them possibly. So is this their jump into, hey, we're going to start doing more live content on Netflix?
Are they going to pick up more sports contracts?
Who knows?
They're going to be the new Comcast.
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken, I think the NBA is negotiating deals. So is the NFL. And I believe hockey and soccer. I think hockey just signed on more for Warner Brothers, which is Max. So you've seen some stuff there. But I believe NBA is the big one that people are discussing if they will be doing some live stuff on Netflix. But it's cool. But I'll be honest, Troy, I'm not watching sports on these streaming services.
You know what? I haven't watched sports period in such a long time.
Yeah.
I just catch the recaps.
So it's almost best way to do it. We have a professional sports guru who has now entered the chat. 110 million for NFL playoffs, ESPN Plus, and Amazon NFL. We are going to pay or use an Amazon jailbreak. So I think Ernesto just admitted to doing
illegal, illicit activities.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove his profile before before they track him down, and like, we're gonna need to see your service.
Yeah,
see
his profile went private. What the?
Did he delete me off of Facebook? But yeah, no. I mean, there was recently a ruckus where they had a playoff football game that was strictly on Peacock, and a lot of people were upset. But the streaming services is the way to go, man.
How long until they price themselves out of it where the normal person just isn't a fan anymore because they can't afford to watch it?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to get to that point where you got to choose between your Hulus and YouTube TVs and Netflix.
You already do. And your Disney Plus, and I mean, and then you have to have a cable connection to stream them.
Yeah. We had this conversation this morning on the Big Show, and we were talking about which ones do you get rid of. And you and I have talked a little bit about this, and which are the ones that you get rid of. Unfortunately, the Paramount Pluses, the Apple TV Pluses, I mean to say it, even the HBO Maxes, those are the ones that are going to be the ones that go first, because they don't have the content. And as of now, I've noticed DC has been a lot on Netflix. So do I really need to have HBO Max that bad when I have all those stuff on Netflix already?
Or maybe Netflix will just absorb them.
Maybe.
Buy their catalog.
Who knows what happens? But it's insane to me, especially for, does Disney Plus even make that cut? Because, I mean, there really hasn't been that great of a content that says, hey, we're buying Disney Plus because this new Marvel, this new Star Wars thing is coming out. We need to get the service now. It has flatlined as of late.
Yeah, I still go through Disney Plus to see what new has come out. And then I think they have is Percy Jackson on Disney Plus, the new Percy Jackson series?
Yeah.
I've been watching that. It's okay. I wouldn't buy the service just for Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Echo was okay.
I haven't seen Echo yet.
It's different than all the other ones. It's more slow-paced character building, but I wouldn't pick up Disney Plus just to see Echo.
Yeah, I don't think I could see myself doing that. But then again, we were at a time when people were picking up Disney Plus because you were getting a WandaVision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and WandaVision was great. Don't get me wrong, but also that was a great release because that's around the time Disney Plus was introduced. Now you got to really give us something we want. I mean, Loki did really good, but we're not talking about Loki in 2024. It kind of had its moment and we moved on to the next.
Well, they have all the Star Wars and Marvel and Disney stuff. So when one kind of dies off, usually another one is there to kind of fill the space.
Yeah.
Because they had a new Star Wars show like every week,
Yeah.
and they've cut those back.
But it's pretty good though that you can reflect off, you could go to those services. And one of the things to also consider is that, I think Disney Plus as a standalone service, I think that is eventually going to go away. I know there had been that talks for a while about Hulu and Disney Plus just being one. You would just go to Hulu. If you have Hulu, it's with Disney Plus. So you're going to have to get Hulu for the Disney Plus feature.
Yeah, I've got that triple package, the Hulu, Disney, ESPN. And like you said, I don't know if I would get them all separately.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, ESPN Plus, I think I've used it maybe once or twice for an Aggie game that wasn't showing on ESPN. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, and that's going to be, I think, where you're going to see Hulu and YouTube TV. If you want the NFL package, you're going to go get YouTube TV. If you want the Disney, you're going to have to get Hulu. I think, we're going to start seeing these merges, and not a lot of streaming services, but a lot on the price.
And Xfinity's just sitting in the corner going, yeah, you need faster speed.
I know the way they get us, man. And they're just like,
you canceled cable, but you need internet.
Oh, you don't want that big ugly cable box in your living room. Okay, well, here's this nice, beautiful square that's going to give you your internet.
Same price.
Same, exactly. And you could have had basic cable. So on the topic of Netflix, and obviously with their doing their, price increase and some stuff, obviously we'll be getting a lot of content from them. And finding out earlier this week, Squid Games, the second season, not the game show, but the actual series, will be released this year. So we will be getting season 2 of Squid Games this year.
Not in production, released.
Released. It will be released this year, later this year. So I'm assuming, I don't think they were under the writer strike that was going on here in the United States. So they were filming and doing their thing, and now it's just a matter of getting it to the United States and having it available, ready to go on Netflix.
So we're gonna have a second season of the game show too, then in 2025.
I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't know, and maybe you could school me on this. Was the game shows a part of the writer strike? Because there are a lot of game shows right now on television.
Well, it wasn't scripted, so maybe it didn't fall under the writers. Because it was,
sure.
I don't know. I don't know the legalities.
Yeah.
But I liked it almost as much as I did the movie, the series.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they were, and I think a lot of people were kind of like, oh, they're going to try to, it had its own set of drama on the reality side of things. And to get you to watch it too, because you're not a big fan of reality TV.
No,
So.
I hate reality. And I watched the first one, I'm like, oh man, they cooked me.
Yeah. Yeah. So season 2 of Squid Games is coming out. And also I'm sure by the end of the year, if not next January, we'll be getting Cobra Kai season 5 or 5. I can't even remember which one it was.
Supposedly it's the final season, then they're going to start doing branch off with different characters.
Which is good. I mean, it's great to still keep that kind of universe going on, and it does seem to work out pretty well, especially if they do decide to do another movie, which they had confirmed that Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio will be doing another movie. I don't know to what capacity, but yeah, it's just there's definitely a lot. We're not done with the Karate Kid franchise. You'll just be seeing some different paths taken. So,
Are we going to
it's
see
exciting.
Jaden Smith?
I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I
Hilary
wouldn't be
Swank?
surprised if Hilary Swank and Jaden Smith somehow make their return for this final season.
Be like an alternate universe. They come in through a portal.
Oh my God, we have what is it? Cobra Kai in game. Every person.
And Dr. Strange over.
Hilary Swank is here. They even have Mr.
Blade over,
Miyagi.
baby. Wrong Hillary, over here.
Go back. It's yeah, no, there's definitely quite a bit. Also there's this conversation, the ongoing conversation about Stranger Things. I have seen some, Reddit posts and blogs that say obviously they are going to age the show up. So this show could possibly go into the early 90s. So I'm sure we'll see a big year jump, that jump into the future. Obviously, they don't look like kids anymore.
All their voices have dropped.
Yeah, right.
They have
Hi.
mustache and beards, and
Ernesto wants to know, can he order Karate Kid action figures from you?
I think we actually have some in stock. We had some William Zabka Johnnies, and I think we had some of the Daniel LaRusso's. I think we have a few left because they were hot for a minute, and then the season ended, and they're like, we don't want these anymore.
Yeah. How crazy that, because you were the one that told me about, like, even when it came to booking them, how the minute that Cobra Kai kicked off, once it made that switch to Netflix, and their price just went up for
Yeah,
booking appearances.
yeah. I tried because I want to get all three of them. I want to get him and Zabka and the Sensei. Can't remember his name now, but I was gonna get all three of them, and woo, all their prices more than doubled.
Yeah. Which, yeah, it's crazy, man. And that's just kind of like, if you even think about like a Giancarlo Esposito, like, I mean, you had him last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then look at all the projects that came out with Giancarlo Esposito. Like, I mean, you want to
He
talk
was,
about at the right time.
yeah, he was popular when we got him, and his
Yeah.
popularity just keeps going.
Yeah, I
That guy is
mean,
working.
it's everywhere you go. It's a Giancarlo Esposito. By the way, Giancarlo Esposito is going to become the new
Pedro.
voiceover that you want to have in your head. Just like how we want to have certain people narrate our lives, Giancarlo Esposito is going to be up there with people we want to narrate our lives.
I want Bobcat Goldthwait to narrate my. Yes, that's what's going
Oh,
on in my head most of the time.
that's a good one though. That would be a perfect one. I don't know. I still think Morgan Freeman would be the ultimate person that talks. That would be the
Yeah,
guy
I
that would
think a
narrate
lot of
my life.
people would pick him. He's just got that soothing, with a different cadence to his. It's almost like a Christopher Walken type
Yeah.
cadence, but a lot
That's another
smoother.
that's another one, Christopher Walken. That would be a that would be a nice one. There we go. That's the question. We're gonna throw that out there. Who would you want to narrate your life? So
Yeah, I'm sticking with Bobcat.
yeah, I gotta stick with Morgan. I was gonna say Morgan Wallen. Sorry, not that one.
He's
Morgan
going to
Freeman.
sing everything like
I
Elvis.
don't. Yeah, I don't need that. So we got that at 3 o'clock this afternoon. But no, I need I need that's who I need to voice mine is Morgan Freeman.
Get Paulie Shore.
Uh, yeah. Oh, Paulie Shore. There
That's
you
right,
go.
buddy. It's the weasel.
You mentioned Paulie Shore. Last week we talked a little bit about that Richard Simmons biopic, right?
Right.
And just kind of the back and forth, and how Richard Simmons says he has no part of it and he's got nothing to deal with it, and he's not doing anything. It turns out that Richard Simmons actually showed him some love for it. He's doesn't have anything to do with it. But he said that it's coming from a place of love, and he says he hopes he does a really good job. And he says he's like, I'm not supporting the project, but I hope you do a good job with your acting skills for this movie. So it's almost like he is like praising him, but also not trying to back the movie.
Maybe they're paying him.
Maybe, I don't know.
He lives with him, quiet. Just sit there and be quiet.
Apparently, they've already started showing it. They showed it at the Sundance Film Festival. So the movie's called The Court Gesture, and it's about they talk a little bit about just kind of I guess it's like the prelude to the movie. And he says that while all this was going on, and after getting the press and getting everything going, he says, yeah, he messaged him and says, good luck on the film. But yeah, ultimately, still no support from the man himself behind this biopic.
Like I said, I didn't even know he was still alive. So
I mean, that came as a shock to both of us. We were
he's
like,
got
wait,
to be
hold on.
up there in age.
Yeah. So 74, 5, I believe we said that
Oh,
last
not
week.
as old as I would have guessed.
Yeah. But now obviously he's done a really good job of just kind of saying, hey, I want a private life. I want to be, quiet and out of the spotlight. So yeah, he's
Should
he's
have thought
definitely
about.
achieved that.
He should have thought about that in the '80s when he was everywhere.
He was everywhere, man. 80s, even the 90s, man. The 90s, he was still, I mean,
was
he would make
opening
a
malls and stuff. He was just everywhere.
yeah, I mean, it isn't how crazy, man. Back then, it's like that was a big deal if you got a celebrity
Yeah.
to be there for a ribbon cutting for a mall. I mean, that was just and he was definitely one of those people that you just had to have that showed up to your mall or to your event, especially if he was gonna be doing some dancing.
Now malls are struggling. So
Yeah.
maybe we need to
Uh,
bring Richard Simmons back.
bring him back, malls come back.
Sweating to the oldies.
Oscar nominations came out this week with a lot of drama behind them. Oppenheimer leads all Oscar nominations with 13. Poor Things has 11. Barbie has 8. But the drama behind this is that Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie were snubbed. No nominations for them for the movie Barbie.
No, but Ken got a nomination.
Doesn't this sound too familiar to the movie?
If Michael Pena doesn't get nominated, then we riot.
Yeah.
Not right in the world.
Yes.
Or Michael Cena. I said Pena.
I was like, hey, nominate him too. I knew who you meant.
He needs an Oscar too.
I mean, we'll nominate him for Ant-Man that he did 4 or 5 years ago.
Michael Cera. My bad.
Michael Cera. But Michael Pena can take a nomination too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Cera, I think, needed one. Ken got one. But yeah, Barbie. I mean, the movie is named after the kid. I mean, it just made no sense how, especially because Barbie has been dominating other award shows that when it came to this one, and you and I have said it, we've seen the numbers, we see it was essentially the movie of the year. It was back and forth with Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer obviously leads the nominations, but Barbie, on the other hand, ate with no recognition for the lead star.
I don't know. I don't know how they get submitted for recognition, but
Yeah.
whoever's on that governing panel needs to maybe look at what criteria they're using.
I mean, because I mean, not to discredit from those that did get the nominations, but you had a movie, and I would assume that social media trends, topic of conversations, media coverage, that has to play an influence. Now, if we were sitting here and saying, "Man, she was the worst thing about this movie," no, Margot Robbie was excellent in this movie. I mean, just the emotions and the characteristics and just everything about it. How can you say that her performance was not Oscar nominated worthy? So
Yeah, I don't understand that. But then again, I quit watching Oscars years and years ago because I disagree with a lot of the ones who win.
yeah. And it just sucks though, because a lot of the ones that do win, I mean, is it really even keeping with the times? Like, I mean, we're discussing movies that, like, man, those are some big. Oppenheimer obviously was another huge one, but then you have certain movies that didn't necessarily have that impact with. I mean, yes, it's great. There was a lot of work into it, but did it really catch the attention of people the way it was supposed to?
I I don't know. I know people talked about Oppenheimer for a couple of weeks afterwards. They're still talking about Barbie.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I don't know. I like I said, whoever picks these uh, things for the awards, I don't know. Maybe it's a bunch of old white men.
yeah. And and it's crazy too, because this is where I don't get. I think our comic book movies seem to always fall to the wayside. I mean, you can have a Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie be nominated, but it's like they don't recognize it as well as much as they would a Oppenheimer. I mean, you look at, especially when it comes to digital effects, the graphic work that they put into this. It seems like even with these award shows, they just kind of get, if it's a superhero movie or anything superhero related, they just kind of like, we'll do it before the award show and kind of play it off later. But it's like that was the biggest movie of the year. Why would you skip past it?
Well, look, even the direct, like Scorsese's, even come out and saying they're not real movies. Some of the actors are saying, "Oh, they're not real movies." Of course, it's the actors who have not been in a superhero movie who say that.
Yeah.
Because Samuel Jackson told them, "Hey," and Idris Elba, they're like, "No, it's real movies."
I mean, it makes no sense to me, because it's like there's a lot of time and effort that goes, and oftentimes, man, the cinematography on these movies are just amazing. Whether, oh man, it sucked, but there's a lot of time and graphic work and just effects that went into these movies that they should get the record. They should get their day in court. They should get their day where they can accept these awards. Like, how are we not getting a Chris Evans accepting an award for playing Captain America for 20 years? Like,
A
it's
lifetime
just
achievement.
right. Like, you've commit. Thank you for your service. Like, you were Captain America. But I don't know. You'll watch these awards. You'll only recognize Barbie and Oppenheimer. You won't know what the other movies are, and you'll be okay. So why did I waste 3 hours watching this award show?
I haven't even looked what's gotten nominated because, like I said, a lot of times they'll give the award, and I'm like, how the heck did that win?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I think they also do it. I mean, let's not pretend like they don't know what they're doing. Like, they do it for the shock value because they know it'll be a headline. Oh, this movie that no one's heard about beat out Oppenheimer. You know,
Some art house indie movie.
yeah, it will be. And like I said, I'm not trying to discredit because I know a lot of work goes into a lot of these films. But I think, like, how are you going to compare I mean, unless they did it budget wise, I mean, I don't know, man. There's obviously something with this, but for Barbie to not, you're two people. I mean, this is just, it's insane to me.
The two main people for
Yeah.
arguably the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah. So it's like, wow, Barbie can't even win an award for being Barbie. Like,
I mean, I don't want
so
to spread a conspiracy theory, but sounds kind of fishy to me.
I was like, maybe the awards committee saw the movie and like, hey, let's make it relatable. We're gonna nominate Ken and not Barbie.
How can we get more guys to watch Oscars? We'll give the award
Right.
to Ken.
And then have them all debate about, man, Barbie should have really been in there. What's going on here?
And we'll put a bald Robert Downey Jr. in there.
By the way, Robert Downey Jr., whenever he wins an award, he is the calmest dude. He goes up there and all I can picture is Tony Stark.
He fits the part.
He just goes up there and be like, yeah, another one. Yay. It's like, dude, you will always be Tony Stark to me, no matter what role you win and what award you hold up there. I just picture Tony Stark.
Walking up there with a cheeseburger in one hand. Yeah, I want to thank you guys. Yeah.
That's why he's a legend, man. Real quick before we go, I have to throw this out there. A movie that I saw on Peacock, and I don't know if you've seen this movie. Saw it last night. By the way, it is not a kid-friendly movie. I'm just gonna throw this out there. It's a movie about some stray dogs called Strays.
No. Is it a movie or a cartoon?
It is a movie about stray dogs, which features the voice of Will Ferrell.
Oh,
Jamie
I saw the
Foxx.
previews for that. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, watch that movie.
Little naughty.
The first 10 minutes, it's just, yeah. I'm just glad there was no kids around when I saw that movie. I thought this was gonna be like a Homeward Bound.
Yeah, if like Seth Rogen had written it.
And you got Will Ferrell writing it, and then I don't.
It's Homeward Bound meets Sausage Party.
You hit it right there. That is exactly it. It is obviously rated R. If you guys, it's one of those movies that hit theaters towards the end of the year last year, and it didn't really take off, and then it ended up on Peacock right away. Go watch it. I think this is going to be one of those cult classic movies that you're like, man, it's sucked into theaters, but everybody wants to watch this movie now.
It's another grandma's boy.
Yeah. You are literally, I'm just thinking of scenes from each one of these movies you just said, and it fits it perfectly. So yeah, Strays. It's on Peacock for you guys to go watch and enjoy. So, but for adults only, okay? So I don't want any parents to get mad later when kids are like, my kids watch Strays. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, they were traumatized. They're going around swearing now.
There were 4 dogs. They look so beautiful. Yeah, no, the dogs don't even look beautiful. I'll tell you that right now. If they want to keep up with you, Troy, if they want to learn more about what you guys got going on, how can they stalk you?
We're all over interwebs. We got the I can't use my thumb anymore because we dropped the X. We got Insta, we got Meta, we got the YouTube, and we got TikTok.
That's right. Make sure you give them a follow. Stay up to date with Zia Comics and all things El Paso Comic Con and other things that they have going on, your in-store signings. For myself, Joey on the FM, you can follow me on the gram, Joey on the FM. You can find us on Facebook or Meta at Hot 103's Big Show. And I'm trying to think of what I have now. I can't remember. TikTok as well, Joey on the FM.
Snapchat, LinkedIn.
OnlyFans. You can find me on OnlyFans. $3.99. We can have a heated debate about Barbie.
It's just pictures of you like making breakfast.
It's not that entertaining, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't really spice up breakfast. So, guys, this has been another edition of Zia Comic Weekly. We'll see y'all next week.
Later, nerds.